Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician channel, and today we're going to be going back into the Camaro build and finishing up the audio portion of the car. So in my previous audio video we installed Skar Audio speakers and amplifier with a Kenwood head unit. We installed new 4x6s in the dash, new 6x9s in the rear sail panels, and an additional two 6.5-inch speakers in the rear seat delete, amplified by a Skar Audio 500 4-channel amp to the Kenwood head unit. It sounds really good. So I wasn't originally planning on running subwoofers, but I've always done it in all of my vehicles, even though I say, I'll just, I'm happy with it. I always end up doing it. So I've done a lot of audio installs, not just for myself, but I used to do them in the past. I've done them a lot. And I've used Skar Audio quite a bit since they came out in 2012. I've been really pleased with them. They're not like top of the line, but they are definitely a good product for a great price. So we're going to be installing some subwoofers in the Camaro. I bought mine as a set. It comes with the wiring, the amplifier, the subs, and the box all together. It was like $450, so priced very well. I've ran 10s, I've ran 12s, I haven't ran 15s in my personal vehicles. And then I've also ran an 18-inch subwoofer. And back in high school I actually had a couple of 8-inch Blaupunk subwoofers, ran on like 150 or 250 watt amp. It was nothing special, but in my 88 Cavalier, sounded good. But I wanted to do something kind of unique with this. I wanted to keep it lighter, keep it more compact, and something that you don't see every day. So I decided to go with Skar Audio's 8-inch subwoofers. This is a triple 8-inch subwoofer setup. It's got 3 8s in a ported box on a 1200 watt amp, and it came with the wiring. You can also buy these things individually. I also purchased mine during Skar Audio's tax season sale, so a little bit of savings there. But I've had good experiences with Skar. I've had good interactions with them. Any questions that I had, they've done really well in answering those questions. So I'm going to show you how to wire it up and where I'm mounting it and everything. So these are, like I said, 8-inch subwoofers. They're all 2 ohm, and they're pre-wired in the box to 1.33 ohms of impedance. So they're like 2100 watts peak and 1050 watts RMS, so it's perfect for that 1200 watt amp. So we're going to go ahead and install them, and we'll do a sound clip so you guys can hear it. I don't need anything where I can be heard a mile away or anything annoying like that. I just want some good bass, something that's not super heavy, something that's unique, compact, and lightweight. And I think this is a good setup for it. So let me know your guys' thoughts below. And also, if you guys have installed anything into your 3rd gens, please let me know what you guys have. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below of your guys' thoughts. And as always, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Let's go ahead and get right into this. So I'll just quickly show you everything that's included in this kit. And keep in mind that you can buy these things individually. But with this kit, you're going to receive the premium amplifier wiring kit, which is the oxygen-free copper instead of the copper-clad aluminum. And then this is rated at 1500 watts. It's 4-gauge power and ground. The part number on it is SCAR 4ANL-OFC. And you're going to receive everything that you need in here. So you're going to receive your connections, zip ties, and all of that. You may or may not use these. You're going to receive your 4-gauge power, 4-gauge ground, which has that plastic sheathing over it. I'll go ahead and replace that with some better quality stuff. You get your RCAs, your remote wire, your fuse block with a 120 amp fuse. And then here's the subwoofer box and subs. These are the 8-inch 2 ohm subs wired to 1.33 ohms of impedance. Nice little carpeted box with Skar Audio here on the top. I do like how the subwoofers are angled here on the sides. And then this is a ported box. It has a port on each side that runs the height of the box, as you can see there. And then as far as the amp, you'll receive your Allen key, your bass knob wiring, your bass knob, and then the amp itself, which is the 1200 watt RP-1200.1D. So perfect for these subs. Obviously that's why it's included with it. And then I'll go over how we'll be running the RCAs and remote wire. I won't be running a remote wire from the head unit. I already have one. I'll go over the different options that you have as far as remote wiring when you have more than 1 amp. So we'll be running the RCAs and all of that. You want to keep in mind that you want to keep the power wire and the RCAs about 12 to 18 inches apart, so you're not getting any interference with them. But I'll be running mine over underneath the dash down the passenger side, just like we did with the other wiring from the speaker amp install. And then here you can see the 6.5-inch speakers, the amp from the speakers, the ground wires right there in the middle, and then I have all my other wiring kind of cleaned up. This is the rear seat delete. Normally there's a top on it, obviously, but I have it removed right now. And I'll kind of show you how I plan on mounting these subwoofers to this rear seat delete. So here's the front of the rear seat delete. This will be the front lip. And then what I've done is I've measured the subwoofer box at 29.25 inches, and I took some small L brackets and I've mounted them 29.25 inches apart. And even though carpet on carpet, the subwoofer with the weight and everything probably won't move a lot, there are times that I'll probably be taking this car to the track and I don't want the box moving around or anything. I want it to be as safe as possible. And I've gone ahead and made sure that the L brackets will actually be sitting underneath the box, so you don't see it sticking outside of the box. So it'll just be a little bit cleaner looking, so that'll keep it from sliding left to right. And then the back of this rear seat delete is up against the hump in the rear, so it'll keep it from going backwards. And then I also have a mark here where I'll be putting another L bracket that I've bent in order to hold the box from coming forward, which I have here, which will simply go up the front and over the top lip. So you'll see it'll come up right here and then kind of hang over the top to prevent it from going up or forward. So that's it. I'll go ahead and get this stuff put in the car, and then we'll be drilling a hole in the top. I'll have the amplifier mounted on this side, my fire extinguisher on the other side, and then we'll get some holes drilled in here to bring the power and ground and RCAs and stuff through and hook them up to the amp. But first we need to get the RCAs and everything ran to the back, and then we'll get this thing installed. So I'll go ahead and show you what I've gotten done so far. We got the RCAs ran from the head unit here. Runs up underneath, still gotta kind of tuck that up in there. It's ran up in here, comes down, runs underneath the carpet right here at the edge, goes into the box, comes out in a small slit with the other wiring, and then I just kind of have the RCAs laying right over here. And back here we have our fuse from our 4-channel amp, and then on top we have the subwoofer power wire coming out there. And these are the terminals that I'm using, and they've done very well. I've used these a few times before, and I really enjoy them. So it runs there, then it tucks up in here, runs through the wheel well trim pieces, and comes out right down here. And then our ground is connected to the same ground location here with the other amp. And sometimes it depends. Some amps want their own ground, separate grounds, and then sometimes they don't care. But then as far as the remote wire, what I've done, sorry, it's kind of a mess right here. I am leaving extra ground and power and remote wire, so if I need to remove the top of the box, it's not restrained. I don't have to unhook everything from the amp. I'm gonna have some play to be able to actually move the top of the rear seat delete. What I've done is you have the main remote wire coming from the head unit, and it runs back, and then what I've done here, instead of piggybacking off of this amp and going to the other amp, what I've done here is just split it. So this is the main wire coming from the head unit. I have a butt connector, and then I have one going to the 4-channel amp and one going to the subwoofer amp. Now, in most cases, I've never had an issue with it. In most cases, this is okay with running 2 amps. When you get into 2 or more amps, then you worry about damage to the head unit and stuff like that because of too much power being drawn through the remote wire. So a lot will install a relay in order to run multiple amps on the remote wire. I've only ever ran 2 amps. I don't think I've ever installed 3 So, and I've always done it this way and never had an issue. Now keep in mind, this isn't as safe as running a relay. A relay is a safer and better route to go if you plan on running more than 2 amps. And this is the only butt connector I've used in the entire setup. Everything else is soldered, but I did want a quick release there, and I didn't feel like soldering, so that's the way I went about it. So we got the remote wire, we have the RCA's ran back here, we have the ground connected here, and the power coming from the back. I'm just going to go through and clean all this up, and then I'll show you the top of the box. So here I've mounted my other L bracket, or J bracket I guess now, and that's going to hold the subwoofer box from sliding forward. And then here I've drilled a hole for the RCA's to come through. Not sure you can see that. I've mounted the amp where I want, and then I've drilled some holes in the back. We'll have 2 for the power, ground, and remote, and then another one for the speaker wires, and I'll show you that once I get it all in. But once again, if you have or are doing something similar to this, just make sure you give yourself some slack so all the wiring isn't so tight and bunched up underneath of here. But let's go ahead and get this put back in the car, and then we'll get the subwoofer box mounted into its little brackets. So we got the head unit reinstalled, everything put back together. Super easy. The only thing we needed to do back there was hook the RCA's up and run them down. Then I replace this panel here. Then it runs into the rear seat delete. Have the amp mounted, bass knob on the front. I'm using little grommets inside of these holes to protect the wire and so you don't really see the wood. Same thing I did down there. Here's what the back of the amp looks like. Same thing, grommets there. Everything's protected. Ran as clean as possible. Here's the wiring for the back of the subwoofers. Everything's wired to those 2 terminals. That's kind of how it looks from the back. How it looks from the front. And then basically when you're in front of the car, you just see the one subwoofer if you looked through. And it's centered on the car as well. So we have the wiring all ran, it's all cleaned up underneath there and all of that. So now I'm gonna have to go through and tune it, and then after I get it tuned I will play some music and we'll see how it sounds. There you can kind of see the L bracket holding it from moving forward, the one's holding it from moving side to side, and this thing is not going anywhere. So very secure and pretty clean if you ask me. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments, but let me go ahead and get this thing tuned, and then we will start to play some music and see how they sound. We got it all hooked up. I'll go ahead and play it for you. Very basic tune on it is just up over halfway on the gain. Bass knob's up. You always want to tune it with it all the way up or disconnected. So there are the 8s. Sorry, there's the lighting is poor. I'll go ahead and play a song. It is going to be over Bluetooth, but I'm also not going to go up over 20. The max volume is 35. These subs need some time to break in, so you don't want to damage them by just going max volume or anything like that. Even though the head unit's max volume is 25, I have it tuned to 28 is the highest volume I'll ever go to. I'm not going to go above 20 right now. So we'll just take a listen, and I hope you guys enjoy. Hopefully it picks it up fairly well, but we'll see.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan. Your plans can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like I'm a coward. Scream until you're louder. They're just young downers. I swear to God they'll let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm gone with these fucking clowns. We were all taught they deserve it now. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now.
do one more track and hopefully it comes out all right. I am extremely surprised. Now, obviously, this car is completely open, so it sounds really good. It's very compact and open, so get a lot of good bass movement and treble and everything through here. It's definitely set up very nicely. I am extremely happy with it and extremely surprised. It's definitely shaking everything inside the garage, which definitely surprised me. So let's go ahead and play just a little bit more of one more song, and then we'll wrap this up.
Don't deceive me, muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just hold an obsession. I'll leave his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill with discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. Oh, try to play it, but you never gonna do it. Another way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stand from the people who deceive me. Bloody hands break through the chains, go free me. People like shit, move feet, had it easy. You don't wanna be that's the same for deceiving. Never stand tall, ready for a fight. When you're trying to change, you can say no, free me. Times rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't wanna place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak mind. Think and stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life, better pop off. What do you like?
Alright, YouTubers, so that's it as far as the install for the Skar Audio 8-inch, triple 8-inch subwoofers with the 1200 watt amplifier and wiring. I think it's a great deal. It's surprised me a lot. A lot more bass to it, a lot more depth to it. It's also going to depend on what vehicle it's going in and things like that. But as far as this 3rd gen Camaro, it definitely provides a lot of bass. I'm glad I installed a couple extra speakers in the car because it definitely needed it. And keep in mind, like, I don't know how it's coming through on the video, but like the audio is so clean. It's really loud, and that's only at 20. I have it tuned so I can go up to 28. The max is 35. Will never go to 35. It's very conservative tuning on it as well, so I'm extremely pleased with it. I really hope you guys enjoyed the install. I couldn't be happier. I think for the price it's fantastic, and I can't wait to get it out on the road this summer, and I hope you guys stay tuned for that. If you guys enjoyed this install or you guys have any questions, please make sure to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. If I forgot to mention any information as well, please feel free to drop it down in the comments, and I'll do my best to figure out that information for you. So, see you guys next time.